Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video I want to share with you what's been coming through for me around 3I Atlas, what's its purpose, what's it's doing, and looking at it through the lens of it being a galactic record keeper, how it's actually creating and igniting a galactic activation sequence, and how it's bringing through the gifts of a universal heart keeper in terms of its energy. If this is your first time in connecting with me, my name is Chloe Cousins and you are so welcome to my channel. I also have a free private community. I'll put the details down below, and also in that community I've also did a very raw transmission about 3I Atlas as well, so you may want to plug into that as well. So let's just first of all talk about what is known about 3I Atlas, and then I'm going to share with you the transmissions that came through for me, and how what is happening is that 3I Atlas is really instrumental right now in supporting the whole of humanity to awaken at a galactic level, like awaken galactic consciousness. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this video through, is because what's happening is there's a lot of fear being generated around 3I Atlas, and what that's going to create is going to be like a closing down of what would be available and what would be possible if you're able to work more through it with your heart and not go into fear around it. Because to me, 3I Atlas is a huge galactic messenger. It's a galactic, almost like a galactic DNA recoding system, as it were, along with it really opening up our hearts, a really deep chamber where it's more around like a universal love, like deepening into it much more with much more compassion. Like it's almost like beyond unconditional love. It's like one step further than that. So first of all, let's just talk a little bit about what actually is 3I Atlas. So some people are kind of calling it a comet. Other people are saying it's not a comet. It's like a particle of ice, but there's no kind of tail to it. All of that really, I feel, is irrelevant in terms of really what's the most important is what is the energy that it's emanating. So the 3 stands for the fact that it's the third ever known object that has come into our solar system ever. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on that, is that clearly I believe there has been other objects. It's just that we've not had the instruments to monitor them. So this is the third one ever that we are as a collective aware of. Now that in itself is really important, because of all the buzz with it, it is really creating a huge impact on the collective consciousness of humanity, because our attention, and remember, our attention and our focus is everything when it comes to co-creating. So when we've got the media, and there's a lot of hype around this 3I Atlas, what that means is our attention is placed on it. So what's really important is that the way that we're placing our attention on it in a positive and a constructive way. And this is what I'm going to outline in this video right now for us. So that's what the 3 means. It's the third time ever we've had a space, a bit of rock, something that's come in, that's come outside of our solar system. So that's really what the I stands for, which is interstellar. So interstellar means literally it's in between the stars, i.e. it's come from outside of our solar system, and it's coming in, it's orbiting into our solar system, and will then go back out again as well. And of course, again, I want to highlight that there's a lot of people that are, bringing in a lot of fear that it's going to crash into this and it's going to crash into that. That's not the orbit of it. It's going to be passing by, and this is the Galactic Activation Sequence that I want to share with you in a moment. It's going to be passing by some of our local planets in our local neighborhood. So it's going to be passing by Mars, the Sun, Venus, Earth, and Jupiter. And I'll explain in a moment what impact that's going to have for us. It's an energetic impact. It's not it's crashing into physical impact. However, I do believe that the ripple impact will be profound for those of us that can really go with the flow of it and really open up and expand our consciousness to it. So here we have this, they're not quite sure how big it is. I think someone's saying like about in diameter around, say, 11 kilometers in diameter. So it's a big piece of, I think, ice and rock. And it's come out of, so it's within our Milky Way system, and it's come out of, it's either been ejected out of, it's been pushed out of, or it's somehow just gone out of, escaped out of its local solar system, and then it's gone into the wider Milky Way, and it's been doing that for over 1 million, if not billions of years. So this is a piece, this is like a consciousness, this is a being, this is an energy source that is profoundly wise, profoundly galactic, and holds a huge amount of cosmic wisdom and galactic codes, because for those millions and billions of years that's been traveling around our Milky Way system, it has been receiving imprints from all these stars and all these different star systems, of which there are millions of. There, in fact, billions. I think I've got down here 100 to 400 billion stars. And remember that each star will have a solar system around it. And this is just in our Milky Way galaxy. So this piece of rock, this piece of ice has been traveling around, wandering throughout the Milky Way, and has been receiving imprints from all these different stars. So stars and star systems like Sirius, like Arcturus, like Vega, Pleiades, Regal, Antares, Orion, and so it goes on. So this comet has been absorbing all these codes, has witnessed these star systems, these planets, and has been able to absorb these codes. So so really, to me, it's like a galactic, that's why I call it the Galactic Record Keeper. And it's like a galactic library. So if you have the opportunity to tune into it and place your focus on it, which is what humanity's doing, but a lot of it is more in a fearful sort of way. But if you consciously tune in and consciously connect, you're going to be able to download vast amounts of information and galactic history and galactic codes, all contained within this Milky Way galaxy. Now that is really profound, because I feel that this is what's supporting humanity to wake up at a galactic level. And I'm calling it, because it's now entered into our local system, our local solar system. I think this was first discovered in July, so very, very recent. And it's going to come close to, bearing in mind when we talk about close to, it's all relative, right? But it will come the closest to, on certain dates, to certain planets. And to me, this is creating a galactic activation sequence that when you tune into that and connect into it, that's going to awaken some really incredible galactic codes within each one of us. So I've been talking for a long time about how humanity is waking up, and how a lot of that waking up process is to our galactic sense of self. And through that waking up, it's to do with like a remembrance of our connection to the stars, a remembrance of our connection to our, what some of us would call homes, to some of our galactic homes. So I've just got Maya, well, I've got both Maya and Seven, my two dogs here. In fact, we've got Maya here. You see her amazing tail. She's a Caucasian shepherd, and she's the one, she was howling very late. Oh, and it was like in the middle of the night, and I'd got quite a high fever, and I hadn't eaten for like a day or two, and I was quite like out of it, very altered. And she started howling, and it really triggered something really, really deep in me. This was like last year. And through that, I actually downloaded a whole course called The Calling, where it's about how we hold our unique signature, literal unique signature energy. And when you connect to that, and part of that connection is through your higher heart, your higher throat, and your oversoul, which are like higher chakras, right? And when you connect at that level, that starts to activate your unique signature, right? And when you can hold that, connect to that, that then resonates, and that literally then magnetizes those that you're meant to work with and connect to. So I digress. I wasn't going to talk about this, but she was just there, so I just thought I'll share about that. Now, I opened that up last year, and it's not been open for the rest, all of this year. But part of what I'm really feeling drawn for people, because of what's happened over the eclipse, is that there's been a real, like, a line. People have crossed over a line over the eclipse where it's like literally like a mark in the sand, where it was like, enough is enough, and I'm not doing that anymore. I am not giving away my power over that way anymore. And a lot of it was around Virgo themes of service, about duty, about responsibility, that's played out for lifetimes. And so many of us now are coming into, just gradually, an awareness more of our new soul mission, of our upgraded soul mission. And a big aspect of that is these galactic codes. So that brings me back to, very beautifully, 3i Atlas. So what I'm feeling is that 3i Atlas is awakening these galactic codes within us, and it's creating like a galactic activation sequence as it connects into each of these different planets as it gets the closest to them. So we got Mars on the 3rd of October, the Sun on the 29th of October, Venus on the 3rd of November, Earth on the 19th of December. And what I love so much is Jupiter on the 16th of March, and that is all around the expansion and abundance. So what a beautiful way to finish this galactic sequence through 3i Atlas in how it is waking us up. So I've opening up the calling, by the way, just for this week. So if you are literally feeling the calling of the calling, I'll put the links below. And that's, I've done a whole series of activation around opening up those higher chakras and supporting you to connect into your unique soul's frequency when it comes to your soul calling, right? When it comes to your purpose and your mission. And it's so important right now because of this eclipse portal that we've just been through and the integration now. Now we're starting to integrate. So this is the new coming in. Now it's about integrating, anchoring the new and going forwards in a really powerful way with it. And 3i Atlas is a big part of that. So what my sense is that with this Galactic Record Keeper, with it then coming close to these different planets, say Mars coming through to the Sun, the star, our local star, Venus, Earth and Jupiter, what it's doing and what it's supporting us to do as we focus and tune to it, specifically on those days or around those days, because they're closest to those bodies, planetary bodies, is that it's going to act like a transducer. And what I mean by that is that because it's holding those galactic codes and then it's coming close to, say, we've got Mars on the 3rd of October, it's then going to bring through all the themes and frequencies that Mars contains. So like, for example, Mars has a lot around identity, self-identity, the warrior, the action taker. Who am I? And so when this record, this galactic library, this galactic record keeper is coming really close to Mars, all the energies of Mars are going to be imprinted into this galactic record keeper, which means when you connect in around those times, around that time, or if you have, because I'm going to be doing an activation for each one of them, you can connecting at any time going forwards from that, because it's kind of locked in at that point in time. You're going to get Mars themes, so like themes around identity that are infused with the galactic the galactic library, this galactic record keeper. So it's really, really unique because it's taking the energies of Mars, the energies of Sun, the energies of Venus, the energies of Earth and the energies of Jupiter, and blending them, weaving through them the galactic frequencies. That to me is huge. That to me is super exciting, and that's how bit by bit humanity is going to start waking up even more to their galactic origins, and also through that step more into their own unique purpose and mission, remembering that our soul's purpose, our destiny is unique to each one of us, and a big reason it's unique is because of our galactic heritage, and we each have a unique galactic heritage. So for example, a big aspect of mine is to do with a soul group of beings that literally seeded this planet with the grid work. And so I'm able to, what I do is I go to different planetary grids around the Earth when I'm called, either go there physically or energetically, connect in, and I'm able to read the codes. I'm able to read the codes because I'm connected to that galactic aspect of myself, and are able to open that and then share these codes with everybody else, right? And so this is what I feel that more and more each one of us, especially if you've been, you're very, very devoted to your spiritual growth, to your ascension process, and you are here to be of service in some way. And this is a big thing that this eclipse axis was about creating space within our energetic system so that these new codes could light up within this new remembrance, this new galactic remembrance, and our new soul's mission could start to ignite within us. But we couldn't do that whilst we still had codes and like patterning that was involved around a sense of duty, a sense of obligation. Now that could have been to anything, could have been to friends, could have been to family, could have been to certain it could be to anything, to your work, it could have been to anything, or even to an old sense of self as well. And that had to clear to make space for the new to come through. And so the new is this 3i atlas. This is what I feel a lot of this eclipse portal has been, is creating space for us to connect into the frequencies of 3i atlas. Now, the last aspect to 3i atlas that I want to share with you about is all to do with 3i atlas being a star wanderer. So what do I mean by that? So 3i atlas did used to come from its own solar system somewhere within this Milky Way galaxy, but for the last 100 to billion years it's not been in its home. So in a way it carries the imprint of knowing what it feels like and the energy of not belonging, the feeling of what it feels like to not belong, to not be at home. It holds the medicine of that. And I feel for a lot of us, and especially with this eclipse, is that for many of us, we may have been connected to those past senses of responsibility and duty because it made us felt like we belonged somewhere, right? And so I feel that 3i atlas is going to be so supportive for those of you that have always felt that you've not truly belonged on this planet. You've not really, you've been misunderstood, people don't really get you. Some of you may have faced a lot of betrayal, a lot of rejection in your life, just feeling like you're the oddball at a certain level. And many of you may well have come to terms with that in one sense. But what I feel the gift that 3i atlas is giving us now is it's supporting us, because of what it's done essentially, it's supporting us to be able to go deeper within our heart. And that's what happened when I connected into 3i atlas for the first time, is that I really felt this huge expansion in my heart and enabled me to go so much deeper into my heart. And as I did that, I was able to connect to the grid in a whole new way. And so what I feel what 3i atlas is supporting us to do is to go deeper into the chambers of our heart and be able to connect to the grid, because the grid is where everything is connected. So at one level, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're, energetically, whether you're on this planet or whether you're connected more to solar system level or whether interstellar level, whether it's a galactic level, whether it's a universal level, everything is connected through the grid. So as long as you can connect into the grid and open up your awareness through the grid, and this is what I do inside the Star Guardians, which is my membership. As long as you can connect into the grid like that and consciously work at that level, your sense of where your home is. Your sense of your belonging is deeply rooted through your heart, and it doesn't matter where you are, literally, because you literally are taking home wherever you are, on Earth, in this galaxy, in another galaxy, in another universe, in a different universe. It's all connected through the grid. And this is what I feel is probably one of the most profound soul gifts of 3i Atlas, is that because it has been disconnected from its original home, it holds that medicine. It holds the medicine of how to belong in a totally unique way. So the belonging is beyond your belonging, feeling like you belong through your family. It's beyond feeling like you belong because you're a human being. It's beyond feeling like you belong because you're in a certain relationship or you belong to a certain group. And this is also one of the reasons why I feel as this medicine comes in for humanity, is going to give a lot of strength to people to release old attachments to certain things, people, situations, groups that gave them a sense of belonging but really wasn't the truth of who they really were. But because they wanted to feel like it made them feel safe, and that's totally understandable. It made them feel safe that they were part of a sense of belonging. They stayed within that community, within that group, and almost maybe over-identified. And so 3i Atlas, the medicine it's going to give each one of us, as long as we tune in directly and work with it and open up our consciousness to it, is going to support us to finally get a sense of belonging that's so deep and so profound that it creates so much integrity within your energetic system that it will give you a sense of so much strength, so much courage, and sense of safety, like emotional safety, that will be profound. That will be profound because of it. And so this is one of the reasons why I felt really guided to really work so much more consciously with 3i Atlas. And I'm going to do that inside the Earth Star Guardians membership. So if you are, now it was called the Earth Star Portal before, but I've decided and this is part of what's come through, is that going forwards it's going to be so much, it's really about a sense of belonging through the grid, right? And so it's about how we connect into the grid. It's how we accelerate our ascension process through the grid. It's how we grow through the grid. And where our home comes from, which is through the grid, which is why I've called it the Earth Star Guardians, but also the Earth Star Guardians because, and I've been working for at least a year now in this way, where I do a live planetary grid transmission every month. This month is actually to Easter Island over the new moon. And we really connect in, and we connect in with each one of us bringing our own uniqueness, our own code, and we go in and connect in and absorb the codes, but at the same time, through that process, we then have the integration for the following 3 weeks of each month, where then, as you integrate those mystery school codes that are accessible through that grid point, these then ripple out into your immediate family, into your work, into everything you do, and you become changed through that process. And to me, this is a totally new way of working with our ascension process. And to me, this is what 3i Atlas is, literally waking up. So if you feel like this is pulling you in, you're feeling, yes, this makes sense. You may not totally understand what I'm saying, but you feel it. You feel, yes, somewhere within me, this is resonating. This is resonating with me. Then I invite you to join us inside the Star Guardians. We would love to see you there. I'll put the link below. And on each of those dates, on Mars on the 3rd of October, the Sun on the 29th of October, Venus on the 3rd of November, Earth on the 19th of December, Jupiter on the 16th of November, I'm going to channel through a direct transmission from 3i Atlas, and it'll be there for you to use as often going forwards as you so wish. And it will be themes from what each of those planets gives us, but from a galactic perspective. So this is all going to be accessible to everyone who is inside the Earth Star Guardians. Also inside the Earth Star Guardians, there's a huge amount in there, so I'm not going to go all into that, but also to let you know, we've got our next upcoming live planetary grid transmission. I think it's on the 21st of October, which is to Easter Island, and that's all around the new Earth codes and working with these incredible Moai. So if you want to be part of that, then please do join us. But I've also got a free 3-part masterclass called The Call of the Earth Star Guardian. So if you want to know more about it, but you're not ready to step in just yet, I think it's like on the 17th or the 18th of October. Again, I will put the details down below. But if you're wanting to work straight away with Mars, which is on the 3rd of October, I mean, it all depends on when you listen to this recording. But if you want to work directly with Mars straight away, which is on the 3rd of October, that is going to be all around, like, it's the warrior. It's very much about identity. And so I feel after this eclipse, what we're really now integrating is our new sense of identity. Like, who are you now when you clear out all that sense of duty, that sense of responsibility, when you clear out all those things that are not in alignment with who you truly are, then who are you? And what is that sense of identity now? And so working with Mars with 3IA Atlas is going to bring that galactic aspect with it, with your sense of identity. So it could be that you, through this channeling that I'm going to do, you may suddenly be aware that actually you have had a lifetime on Sirius, or a lifetime in the Vega star system, for example. And then that's going to be woven into and start to be woven into your sense of self, your identity. Because for you to fully co-create and to create the shifts in your physical world, your sense of identity is paramount to that. Because if you don't shift your sense of identity, right, which is linked to that Mars energy, you're not going to fully ground it in. Because you're not going to be able to take the actions, because your sense of identity will keep pulling you back. It will keep pulling you back. So your sense of identity is really key to taking that aligned action and moving forwards. And 3IA will be the closest it will be in our solar system to Mars on the 3rd of October. So if you feel drawn to joining us, that's be great, and it will be wonderful to see you inside the Earth Star Guardians. I'm just seeing if there's anything else I'd like to share with you about this. No, I really do think, because it's all the way till March, this is a really, it's a good 5, 6, 7 months that we've got to really support this new human that is birthing. And of course, a new human that is birthing is going to be that sense of identity, but it's also going to be literally codes that awaken within our energetic system and shift our DNA. And again, I do feel that the activations that we're going to be doing with 3i Atlas is all in support of that as well.